breaking news.
That breaking news, one person is now in the hospital after being hit by a car. It happened near 96 and L Street just before 2 this morning. Police tell us when they got there, the car involved was no longer on the scene. Right now, we don't know too many details, but police say the victim's injuries are not life-threatening. If you do have any information, police ask that you call Omaha Crime Stoppers. Well, good Saturday morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Maria Cade. We do have a first alert today to the start of a major heat wave. The National Weather Service is issuing a heat advisory, urging you to take it easy and stay hydrated. Here's meteorologist Bo Fogel with the details. Bo? Turning to more breaking news around the world now. Air Canada's 10,000 flight attendants are on strike. This is according to the New York Times. The attendants want better pay and to be paid for the work that they currently do before the planes take off and after they land. Before the walkout, the airline said 700 of its flights would not be taking off starting today. Last night, it had already canceled 623. President Donald Trump is back in Washington this morning after a historic face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The two met at the U.S. joint military base in Alaska to talk about an end to the war in Ukraine. The details of that discussion and what will happen next are still very unclear. Jay Gray has the story from Anchorage. Back home in Council Bluffs, police tell us an 18-year-old is in custody in connection to the death of an Iowa man. Gabriel Michael Keon Irby was arrested in Omaha. Last Friday, officers found 19-year-old Dylan Hall dead at a house in Council Bluffs. According to police, Irby is at the Douglas County Correction Center while the Pottawatomie County Attorney's Office arranges his extradition. A report is looking into the amount of domestic violence deaths here in Nebraska. Since the Domestic Abuse Death Review Act went into effect in July 2022, the state has had 72 domestic violence deaths. That's according to the Nebraska Attorney General's office. The report also finds 7 kids under the age of 19 died because of domestic abuse. The review team sent out its first report last year with the goal of preventing future violence. Parents are finally getting details from the Elkhorn School District regarding 2 new schools that are still under construction. In an email, Elkhorn District leaders announced Iron Bluff should be complete by September 5th and Stone Point will be done by the end of October. The news isn't sitting well with some parents, though. Many of you shared with us that you had concerns over whether one of the schools would be built in time for the school year, not long after last school year ended.
We were watching the school the whole time being built, and we realized back in June there was no way that was going to be done. As a matter of fact, we went actually by it today, and the fact that they said that there's no heavy equipment, okay, I'm not sure. I'm not in construction, I was in software, but there's a lot of bobcats still running around there and tractors, and maybe those aren't considered heavy equipment, but there's still a lot of that equipment running around the school today.
The district superintendent sent a message to parents in one of the emails apologizing for the construction delays and associated concerns. We first broke the story on these concerns at the new Elkhorn schools on Monday. That's when the district had open house at the buildings. They were supposed to happen last week, but they were delayed. On Wednesday, Omaha city officials believed the district was breaking the law because they did not have their occupancy permit. District leaders disagreed, saying the schools were deemed safe for students to enter. On Thursday, Omaha Mayor John Ewing had a press conference where he told us a number of Omaha schools have opened without the all clear from the city. He said he has no plans on shutting down the schools, but that he does want to make the process of opening new schools more official. If you have concerns about something going on here in the metro or a story that you would like to share, reach out to us on our website, firstalert6.com. Now here's a first alert to some traffic impacts this weekend in Omaha. Today, crews will shut down Emmett Street during the day between 21st and 22nd for a church event. You can also expect closures near 23rd and Sailor from 3 to 10. That's for a back-to-school party. Tomorrow morning, plan for closures downtown near the Steelhouse for the Corporate Cycling Challenge. And as we head into these next few days of heat, you might want to carry something around to keep you cool. Well, animals at the Henry Dorley Zoo don't have that luxury, but the zoo does take some extra precautions to keep them all safe. Team members say the animals aren't going to be as active on a hot day. Any training sessions for the animals that could put them on hot surfaces are shifted for the weather. The exhibits are also built so there are enough shady areas and places for them to cool down, and some of those are behind the scenes.
As we do our exhibit design, our animal care teams are actually a big part of that, so they're going to let us know, depending on which species they work with, what their needs are.
Many of the exhibits also have pools or misters for the animals. If you're heading out to the zoo this weekend, those are the areas you should look for if you're trying to spot one of those animals, but you can't find them. And for anyone needing relief from the heat, the Salvation Army has a place for you to go. The Kroc Center will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is air conditioned, and there will be cold bottled water, and everyone is welcome. Still ahead, spreading joy one toy at a time. We're sharing how a local teen is working to ease the hearts of children and make hospital stays less intimidating. Now let's take a live look outside with our Union Bank and Trust CityCam network, taking a look over Midtown Omaha on this Saturday morning. It's going to be a hot one out there, so be ready for it. We'll be right back. Welcome back. After many nights spent in the hospital, an Omaha teen with a rare disease is using her hobby for good. First Alert 6's Zena Taher explains how she's using her interests to make a difference. What an amazing opportunity, Zena. Thank you. Turning now to our weather coverage. The big topic today, that extreme heat. So, Bo, how long can we expect this to last?
Probably going to last until the start of the new week.
Thanks, Bo. We're looking forward to mid next week, though, with that
yes.
forecast. Thank you. Welcome back. A week later, Blair residents are still working to clean up the damage from last weekend's storms. Our Sydney Babb shows us their progress and spoke to residents about what has helped them the most. Blair officials told us 4 people were hurt in an RV park. The public safety coordinator said they are expected to survive. Well, as we continue to navigate that heat advisory, Bo, what can we expect coming up in the coming days?
Well, we're going to see this heat. So Wednesday is going to be the day that everything goes back to average and will bring much relief to the area.
Yeah, for those of us that don't like the heat, we're looking forward to that. Thanks, Bo.
Yep.
After several delays, demolition of Omaha's Civic Auditorium began on this day in history in 2016. The auditorium opened its doors in the mid-50s, and it was once a very popular spot for concerts and graduations. The 8-acre site is now known as the Civic Square, and it's a multi-use development that will feature retail, affordable housing, and a grocery store once it is complete. Last month, developers told the Omaha City Council they would finish $2.7 million worth of the infrastructure by early next summer. Still ahead, first alerting you to that extreme heat right here in the metro, where you can go to find some relief. Plus the results of Trump and Putin's high-stakes meeting and what might happen next. Welcome back. The University of Michigan, a college football powerhouse, says it's appealing an extensive punishment from the NCAA. The Wolverines football team is accused of stealing other team signs for years and then trying to destroy the evidence. Here's Sam Brock with the details. Well, back home, NU President Dr. Jeffrey Gold is turning down a raise. Thursday, the Board of Regents approved a 15% performance-based bump for Gold. It came out to nearly $160,000. The University of Nebraska system says Gold wants the money to go towards helping programs across the university. NU is working to close a $20 million budget gap by the end of this fiscal year. Last week, NU announced a buyout program to help close that budget gap. Well, we do have a first alert to storm chances on the horizon. Bo, what should we all expect?
Well, those storm chances are possible. Relief coming. It's just we got to deal with some more heat and unfortunately deal with some thunderstorms. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Average weather is coming.
Just got to wait it out. We'll be looking forward to that. Thanks,
Yes.
Bo.
Yep.
All right, a UNO professor says a program to help low-income students was a lifeline for her. Raquel Henderson started at the college after becoming a mother at 15, surviving domestic violence and spending time incarcerated.
It was my rock bottom, but I needed it, you know, and it was then that I just kind of was forced to take a hard look at my life. Children of incarcerated parents have an increased risk of being incarcerated, and so I was like, I don't want this for my daughter.
Henderson says Project Achieve helped her find her way. She thanks the support system for helping her go on to graduate with honors and 2 degrees. Along with her teaching position and nonprofit roles, Henderson serves as a community liaison for Omaha Mayor John Ewing's office. Meanwhile, Iowa continues to see a large number of people with college degrees leaving the state, but new data shows their population is still growing. According to the U.S. Census, immigration helped Iowa's population grow by more than 19,000 last year.
Iowa depends on those immigrant laborers for its workforce. And it's not just about having laborers. It's about having residents who are having kids and having families and consuming and shopping at Iowa businesses.
Iowa Common Sense Institute says since the pandemic, the number of immigrants coming to Iowa has surged. The institute says they continue to play a larger part in the state's growth. Well, the incoming freshman class at Creighton already breaking records before they even start the school year. This is the class of 2029, and they're the largest first-year class in school history with about 1,250 students. Those students are mostly from Nebraska, but around 1/3 of the students in the class of 2029 are traveling more than 400 miles to attend the university, wishing them a wonderful school year. Well, still ahead, Bo will have one final look at your forecast, plus a smash hit on Netflix and topping the Billboard charts. We'll have more on the movie you may want to add to your watch list when we come back. Welcome back. A federal judge in Florida has sentenced rapper Sean Kingston to 3.5 years in prison. Kingston, whose legal name is Keyshawn Anderson, was convicted in a $1 million fraud scheme in March. Prosecutors say Kingston and his mother made fake wire transfer receipts as proof of payments for high-end items that they never actually paid for. In July, Kingston's mother was sentenced to 5 years in prison. The animated film K-pop Demon Hunters has quickly become a smash hit with several streaming records on Netflix, a #1 album on the Billboard charts, and a sing-along version soon to be in theaters. It's also getting some early Oscars buzz. Here's CNN's Linda Kincaid with the details. Now to your Big Red Extra coverage this morning. The Huskers are going all black with a black jersey and black pants for their November 1st game against USC. Dylan Raiola helped unveil the alternative uniform for the upcoming season in a video. It was released by the university along with Adidas, and it was filmed outside of Seward amongst the corn. It was a late-night production, but one Raiola says he enjoyed being a part of.
We love them. The whole team loves them. We all love them. And hope our fans come out to the USC game and rock their black. I think it's something special. It was pretty cool. I've never been inside like a cornfield, and to actually see the husk of a corn, I asked if I could take one home, but they said this is one of our donors, so don't touch it. So I was like, they got it. So yeah.
Well, they look great. Nebraska did not wear an alternate uniform last year. It's the first time they've added the all-black alternative to the rotation since 2020. Well, happening tonight, for the first time, Nebraska volleyball will host an alumni match. Tonight's match will be a normal best-of-5 sets. Intermission between sets will be 5 minutes. Husker legend Jordan Larson will play for the alums.
I think that if anything, I just ask Husker Nation for a little bit of grace because 1, I am old, and 2, that I've been working out, but not volleyball shape, very different. So we'll see what happens and, hope for the best. But if anything, it's just going to be fun. And yeah, I'm just excited to see how it goes.
She's not giving herself enough credit. That's Jordan Larson. The match begins at 6 o'clock tonight at John Cook Arena. Bo? Thanks, Bo, for those updates. A lot of great things happening here in the Metro over this weekend. I know here in Midtown we have the Chalk Festival that's happening today and tomorrow, so it's going to be a hot one. So if you are planning to head out today, make sure to remember that water, those fans too.
Yep. Just stay hydrated, folks, and go indoors where there's air conditioning if you start feeling a little ill.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Bo, and thank you for joining us this morning. Have a great Saturday.